Hi, I'm Amy of Amy Groff Fine Art, and in this video I want to talk about why mistakes are an artist's best friend. If you're like me, you want to be perfect every single time you make a piece of art, or at least that's how I used to be. I had this idea in my head that every time I went to a canvas to paint, that it had to come out perfect. The end result, if it wasn't what I intended, then it was a failure and it was horrible and I'm no good and I'm never gonna paint again. That was my mentality. And that's how I approached every time I would go to paint. So it became really stressful. This thing that was supposed to be really enjoyable and relaxing, and this thing that is my passion, kind of felt like a burden. It was not enjoyable. And I figured out that it's because of me. It was my fault. The way I was looking at it was completely wrong. There's no way that anyone is perfect at anything with a little bit of practice. I mean, I've been painting my whole life, but not, I took a really long break there when I had my kids. So when I started painting again, oh goodness, I think 6 years ago is when I started painting with some acrylics, and then I took another couple of years off and then started with oils about 2 years ago in 2016. And since then I haven't really stopped painting. So for 2 years I've been pretty much painting consistently. And from 2 years ago until now, oh my gosh, I can do so many more things and I'm so much better. Why? Because I made a crap ton of mistakes. I'll show you. I have, for about every good painting I do, there's probably at least one, if not two, paintings that aren't so hot, that are sitting in storage because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. If I'm going to go over it or trash it, I have no idea. This is one that I tried and it just didn't go very well. Didn't like it. I think it looks better on video than it does in person, but there were some mistakes there, and you know what? I learned from it. Another one, let's see here. This was supposed to be kind of like an impressionist landscape that I was working on, foggy morning. Didn't really go so well, and you know what? I learned from it, and my next abstract pieces were way better, way better. Here's a seascape I had started. It's not finished because I had to scrape half of it off. Here's one I started just a couple of weeks ago. And this was like a hot mess down in here. So I let that dry for a while and I'll probably go back over it and maybe adjust it, but there's even some green up in the sky there. There's just some stuff not right in that picture. But you know what? I learned from it and that's okay. Same thing with this one, this sky. Let's see, can we get it in? It got very green. There, I think that's better. And very dark. And I learned from it, okay? All of these things, when I mess up and something's not right, I changed my mentality about it and the way I look at it. And it's like, if I got it wrong, that means I did something that I didn't do before. I learned to either not do it again, or I learned how to do it differently to get a better result. So it's just a constant learning process. Here's another one that I was working on. It's not quite finished with this one. I went nuts with those sun rays there. And the cabin looks like it's just cut out of something and just plopped on there. Like everything else I was cool with until I did the cabin and the sun rays. Just not really feeling what's happening there. So again, I learned things. I learned what not to do when putting in sun rays. I learned what not to do when painting in a cabin. Again, I wasn't using a reference photo for any of that, so that was kind of like all from my head. So actually none of these, well, one of them had two had a reference photo. The rest were just kind of from my head. So I learned from that. So with those errors, all of those came before I painted this landscape. This is done with oil. Well, an acrylic base, like this flower is an acrylic base, and then I went on top with oil. Everything that I learned in all of these past paintings that, in my opinion, were horrible failures, only made me better for my next projects, okay? So I had to start looking at painting as not getting a perfect piece every single time. I was working on a piece because I enjoy it and I love painting. And if the end result came out well, hip hip hooray, that's fantastic. If it came out not so good, then I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I do better next time? And how can I prevent myself from doing that in the future, basically? So every single time I mess up, I learn something new and I get better and better and better. From this painting here, I learned a lot from that and I'm really excited. This is just an underpainting. This is kind of what the underpainting was for this one here. So this is an acrylic underpainting that I'll be going on top of with oil because this one turned out pretty good, but I still learned. There's still things on here that I don't like and I learned from it. So I'm super excited because I'm really happy with that. So if I'm really happy with how this turned out and there's some things I do different, I can't wait to see what I do on that one. And I may mess it up, and if I do, it's okay. I'll try again and do another one. So all of these things, it's a mental game. You have to look at it not as a failure, but as a stepping stone, a ladder, a rung of a ladder, anything to just increase your skills to where you want to go. I see so many people get frustrated when they make a mistake or a piece doesn't turn out the way they like and they just want to give up forever and not paint again and think they're horrible. I used to be that person. Change the way you look at it. Don't think like that because you're not going to get better if that's the way you look at it. You have to keep going and keep pushing and keep trying. And with new mediums, I just started to do a colored pencil piece. I have a video about that you can check out. It's the first time I've used colored pencils in 15 years. I've learned so much in just the hour of time I've put into it already. I'm really excited to keep going with that medium and see where I end up. Yeah, it's not exactly going how I wanted it to go and the background's meh, but you know what? It's fine because I learned so much and I'm just really excited about it. So I hope this has given you some inspiration to just continue painting, continue drawing. It's only going to get better. You're only going to learn. So just approach every piece that you do, whether it's just a sketch or if it's going to be a finished piece, approach it with the mentality of you're doing this to have a good time. You really enjoy it and you're just going to learn from it and grow and get even better for the next time you make a piece of art. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and we'll see you in the next video. And again, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know about my crickets. My family of crickets that are in here in my basement studio with me. They keep me company. So until I get a better mic, you're probably going to hear them chime in on my videos.